Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I do want to go ahead and leave an update on, I posted a video probably like a year ago I think, and it was on a permanent 4x4 fix is what it was titled. It's actually like one of my highest viewed videos, but basically I show in the video how to bypass the actuator and lock your front drive shaft in, lock your axle in all the time. That does cause the front drive shaft to spin all the time. I've seen a lot of your guys' comments saying, you know, yes, it's spinning all the time, it can come apart and break stuff. But I also mentioned in that video, make sure you have a good front drive shaft, your joints are tight before you do the mod. So all 2002 to 2012 Dodge Rams. Now sometimes if it was a 1500 or, you know, it could change a little bit in the years, but for the most part, 02 to 12 Rams, the front drive shaft is gonna spin all the time because there's no actuator on it. So that's just the way that they made them for a long time. You will see these trucks occasionally. If you see like a third gen that the transfer case blew out of, that's usually why, is because the front drive shaft throws. So if you do not want to do it that way and lock the actuator in, this is the 4x4 Posi Lock kit. So this basically will give you a mechanical cable you can run into the cab, and you will be able to lock the front axle in when you want to, and whenever you do not want it locked in, you can unlock it. And this will also give you the ability to do like 4-low and 2-wheel drive without locking the front end. So just something to keep in mind, guys. I am going to leave a link to this in the description of this video, so if you guys would use that link if you want to purchase one of these, that would help me out. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get to the install. Not super hard to do. Okay guys, so we started with getting a hole drilled in the firewall. You can see it gives you a little map layout where to do the hole, and it goes through the firewall right there. And at first, I want you to do that first because you have to do 11/16 hole, so that way this guy will fit through there. And then it comes with a little bracket here. We got to drill out part of the dashboard. Let's go ahead and get this thing all the way through here. And this guy's gonna mount like right here. It's gonna mount right here in this screw, but we'll have to drill that out. You can see it's pretty close to the pedal, but that's just pretty much the only place that you can get it in. That's pretty much just the only place where you can go through and still have enough cable to reach. You could go through the floorboard if you wanted, I guess, but we're gonna go ahead and get our bracket, drill this bolt hole out, and get this guy mounted in here, and then we will finish under the truck. Okay, I wanna show you guys what this all looks like when it's done inside the cab, just like so. Hole drilled in the firewall, mounted right there. You just pop that hole out to 5/16, and then right when you go to put it in forward drive, just lock the front axle. Boom. So that's how you do that. Next step, guys, is gonna be hooking this cable up to the center axle disconnect. So we're gonna have to remove it. Some vacuum lines here, some, I believe, 10 or 11 mil bolts, and then this little indicator to show it's in forward drive. So we'll remove all this. All right, guys, we have the new kit installed and just dry fit in there. I didn't seal it, I just want to verify I have good adjustment. So see, we have front drive shaft spinning, it's open diff, so the front left tire's not going to spin, but it's locked now. And now I'm going to hop up on the truck, push the cable forward to release it and verify that it releases, and then we'll know that we have good adjustment. Guys, I went ahead and got the new wire terminals installed on the harness here, the factory harness. These will hook onto the new forward drive switch. And then the factory vacuum hoses, I just zip tied up out of the way. I've just plugged them off there, stuck a bolt in the ends of them, and then just stuck them out of the way so they're there if they ever want to hook this back up for some reason. Instead of just removing that, we just did that. So zip tied up out of the way. The only thing we have left to do now, guys, is drain the diff fluid and seal this cover, and then refill it, and then we're gonna route this cable a little better, kind of up top, because we're touching the drive shaft right now, and then that's literally it. That'll be the install. So guys, this thing did not have a vent on it. It did, but it was just right there, so there's a ton of water inside the diff fluid. That's why I'm doing this, the fluid change. So let's go ahead and get that draining right now. Milkshake. You guys think this fluid needed changed? Alright guys, I pulled the cable CAD off to install the gasket. Just want to show you guys what it looks like when it's all installed. There's a snap ring on, or I'm sorry, an E-clip on both sides of the little cable in there. So we got that all cleaned up. We're going to install a gasket. It did come with a gasket, so we'll run a gasket and some silicone on both sides of the gasket, and then that will be permanently mounted. Alright guys, and here we are with the unit all installed with gasket and some silicone on it. Got the wires ran here for the four-wheel drive indicator, and then the only thing I have left to do, I forgot to get a piece of fuel line while I was in town. Run a piece of fuel line up, zip tied up there somewhere, so that way water doesn't get back in this thing. Diff cover is back on. So yeah, basically this thing is now installed. Every time you pull that cable, it's gonna lock the diff together, and you'll be able to properly engage your four-wheel drive. All right guys, now I'm gonna start by filling the diff fluid, and we'll do that by removing this little plug here. It takes a 3/8 ratchet to remove that guy. Just like so. And then we're going to be using some 80-90 gear oil. Fill this up. It'll probably take about 2 quarts if I had to guess. Not totally sure. Thing in here. The steering bar's in the way. We'll use this little rubber hose so we can get her filled up here. We'll go ahead and let that one start filling, then we'll get another one opened up. You guys can see what I got going on, this little rubber hose running it in there. It's cold guys. So yeah, basically we'll fill it up until it comes out of the cap here, and then, or out of the plug. Once it's finger level, we'll be good. And while that's filling, I'm gonna go ahead and install this new vent line I got. So I'll put that on there with a clamp and run this guy up here and then tie it off with a zip tie. I'm gonna go ahead and get it measured here so I know about how high up to go. Getting snug now. Okay, zip tie that guy up top, and we'll be done there. We'll have a good vent on her. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video. We got our little vent line routed up there, zip tied off, still filling with fluid, but I have started cleaning some parts up for this truck. We are actually gonna be doing a separate video on this, doing a head gasket with O-rings. I'm cleaning some parts up right now. Got some in the parts washer. I'm just getting some of this stuff over here laid out real nice and clean. Got our injectors, getting our valve covers cleaned up, going through our hardware stuff. So if you guys would like to see more on this, we actually have a head gasket set, just got here today. And then we have some exotic head studs as well. They're in the truck. But if you guys would like to see more on this truck, be sure to subscribe. It'll probably be the next video that goes up will be a full video showing the teardown process and putting the whole truck back together. I'm trying to do it in one video as opposed to basically, yeah, I just want to have it all in one video, and then you guys can see how this thing runs. It's actually a pretty hot little truck for what it is. So, but yeah, that's going to wrap up the end of this video. Be sure you guys pick up one of the four-wheel drive actuator kits. Link is in the description. And also don't forget to get entered for the 79 Cummins truck giveaway. Link for that will also be in the description. 25 bucks when you guys could win. But without further ado, see you guys on the next one.